chip.
Wait, Mike, are you are you a baseball guy? Yeah.
Yes.
So are you a Cubs fan?
Yep.
Yeah. I think I knew. Yeah. See, yeah, for me, I'm a White Sox fan, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
But like the thing is that we were gonna be good this year, right?
You were. It was like the Sox were going to be a great team this year.
Like the world was like, nah, White Sox are gonna be good. Nah, we need to fucking.
No. Yeah.
It was like, yo, let's release this coronavirus. Like, let's get people out of here. So no.
That was the only thing beating the White Sox this year was the coronavirus. I mean, imagine being a Tigers fan and we were going to win like 36 games this year. So.
Wait. Yeah, it's me. Fip just said, "Go Tigers." Oof.
Go Tigers. Look, Fit, me and you, we got it, but we're not winning. Like, even in like a half shortened season, I think the over under for us is like 27.5 wins, and I'm taking the under because we suck. We are not good.
Dude, Detroit's
Yeah.
They're so bad at everything. Like it's so hilarious.
Yeah, it's.
Oh man.
The whole state of Michigan could just like implode in sports and nobody would notice because all that would happen is somebody else would take over like last place. And I'm a Michigan sports fan. Like I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan. I'm a Red Wings fan. I'm a Pistons fan. I'm a Tigers fan. I never rooted for the Lions because I was a Packers fan as a kid because Brett Favre was my favorite player. But like literally all of my teams are in the state of Michigan and they can't win anything ever.
You were a Packers fan?
I was. Brett Favre was my favorite player. I was so much of a savage as a kid. I wore a Packers jacket into the Pontiac Silverdome, and my dad was worried that like I was going to get kidnapped as an 8-year-old.
I spit on you.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God.
But I did get to wear a Super Bowl ring during that game, so it was kind of cool.
Hey, there you go. That is kind of cool. Man. Wow. Jesus. So tying this back to gambling, what was I gonna say? The games that I play. So you brought up the Game of Thrones slots. Me and my buddies, like we would have a huge group of us, and we would go, and they had Wheel of Fortune slots.
That's addicting. Yep.
Yeah, and it was like one with the huge mega bonuses, where if you landed on this, you got to spin like different wheels in order to get more stuff. So we did that, and for that, it would be 3 of us that played. We'd all put in $100. And we'd be like, all right, what's the stopping point? Like, if we get too low, when are we going to stop? Because we get really high, and then we'd be like, okay, yeah, let's just keep going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Once you win, you have to set a ceiling.
Yeah. So we were like, all right, what are we going to do? So we set stop points for 2, like high and low. But then also on top of that, whenever I go into a casino, I always bet on 10 in roulette. And that's all I bet on. Just put like $10 down on number 10. If I don't win, I don't win, and just go there.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those things like general rule of thumb is if you double your money on whatever you're playing, get up and go play something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a time, like the first time my wife saw me play blackjack when we were in Vegas, we were at New York, and it was a $10 blackjack table. She's like, you gonna play? It's like, yeah, I'll buy it for $100 or whatever. I take the last spot. In the middle of shoe, and I ask everybody, Curtis says, like, do you guys mind if I get in? Like, blah, blah, blah. How you doing? Like, no, go ahead and get in. So I buy in for $100. I win 6 hands in a row. I double my money, and I color up and I leave. My wife's like, what happened? I said, I just made $100. We're going to go have dinner.
Oh, my God.
Everybody else at the table gave me, like, the biggest, like, death stare. Like, they hadn't won a hand in 4 hours, and I could just sit down and win everything, and then I leave. I'm like...
Well, you even asked, so, like, that's the good thing, because, like, I'm not one of those, like, competitive blackjack players that actually knows 100% what they're doing. But
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody does. No matter what they tell you.
Yeah.
Even 90% of the people that are like, oh yeah, I work in a casino, I know basic strategy. No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't know. I mean, yeah. I've studied it. I understand the ins and outs of the game, and I know how to like get the game to about as close to break even as I can when I play.
6 decks, don't they though?
6 or 8, yeah. But there's still so many other factors. Like I can play perfectly every single time, but I can't stop the moron from hitting 16 against a 3.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and like because there are those like insanely competitive people at blackjack tables where if you do something stupid, they will let you know.
You just murdered their first child.
Yeah. And it's like
why would it matter to them?
Because it affects their money.
Yeah, if they do something,
because you could take the dealer's bus card, or you could take you could end up hitting a hand you're supposed to stay on that took my 10 when I was going to double down, or
okay, no, yeah, get you, man. I get you.
Yeah, so it's very much a like you're trying to either get the dealer to bust or beat the dealer. So like now I'm at a point like if I go to a casino, I almost won't play blackjack by myself. Like I have to have a group of my friends, and we all sit down, and the conversation's like we just all look at each other and we're like, first one of you to fuck this up, you're buying the drinks for the rest of the night if you screw this up.
Yep.
And then tip the shit out of the dealer and everything else, and make sure they make money. And
Yep. All about making sure that they're good. If they treat you right, yeah, you got to.
Jeez. You guys are making me really want to go to a casino right now.
you don't want to go.
I probably will at some point.
Don't do it.
Just
Look,
turn
if
on
you
stream
look,
elements. Just turn on
Look.
stream elements. There you go.
yeah, if you do it, do a mobile stream from whatever table you're at. You're gonna have to like conceal your phone because most of the time they tell you got to put your phone away. Whatever, just wear do a Discord call. Here's what you do:
Like a GoPro.
Discord call. Where
Okay,
listen,
Oliver's-
Discord
have you
call.
guys- have you guys watched,
AirPods under. You're gonna have to wear a beanie because they don't let you wear headphones. So you're gonna have to put AirPods under your beanie so they don't know you have them in. Discord call, AirPods, and then wear like a pocket shirt with the Twitch mobile stream so your camera is pointing at the table. And then I will literally walk you through what to do.
I'm gonna delete this VOD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
was gonna
fine.
say
Yeah.
we're not posting it. Well, we record this next week, right? Like just record this.
You're gonna look like a genius. You're gonna make all the money.
No,
And
dear. No, have you guys watched Ozark on Netflix?
I'm not.
my
really
wife and
super-
roommate have. I've heard the third season is pretty much like all in a casino, but I literally can't watch casino scenes in movies because they piss me off of how inaccurately they're done. Like it drives me nuts.
See, that's like I think that's why Ozark is so good.
I can't do it.
When you watch Ozark, man, like one is it's just a fantastic show, but
Yeah.
like it also shows like how not like easily, but like it makes you question a lot of businesses that like you're like, are you really money laundering? Because I think you are.
Are
Yeah.
you actually-
That's true.
Started on freaking Mattress Firm. Okay, you guys know Mattress Firm? Okay, the
Yeah.
store. Yeah. Okay. Listen, now Mike, you're from the Chicago area, so I don't know if you've actually seen this before or not. But so there was a do you know Bourbonnais?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in Bourbonnais, all right, when you go down the main street, okay, there are in that like mile and a half radius or so, there are 4 Mattress Firms. 4. 2 of them are literally right across the street from each other.
I know.
Right across the street. What in the world do you need 4 Mattress Firms in a mile radius of each other for?
They like comfy beds.
Yeah, one is like this. One is like the shipping warehouse, and one is the store you shop in.
It's all the same thing. Like the
Well,
same
so that's actually there's one actually same exact situation. Mattress Firm. One is on one side of the street, and one is on the other side of the street. And apparently, it's because one's in one town and one's in the other, but it's literally like a street division. But if it's 4 of them, I don't think there are 4 cities that are that close to each other in that area.
Like,
that can
but
do
it's not even there though. And like there, it's actually the same. Not here in Ankeny, but in Ames, where the Iowa State campus is. There's 3 Mattress Firms within like probably a good 5-10 minutes of each other. There's 3 of them. In
So,
Ames.
Mattress Firm is owned by the drug cartel?
Yeah, maybe.
Here first.
Yeah, there we go. If this happens down the line, we solve the case right here.
I'm gonna clip this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously though, like it's sketch, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like who Netflix ring
TV show.
like
Next year, we're gonna see a 6-part documentary on Mattress Firm. Like,
I don't understand who's buying that many freaking beds. Like
Yeah,
no one.
that's a lot. Yeah.
well, you got the guy down in Houston. Like every time a sports team gets into a championship, he's like mattresses for everybody, or I win like $9 million. Like the guy's nuts.
okay. So there's this one business that I pass whenever I have to drive to the airport in Des Moines. There's this one business in the downtown area.
The airport with 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the when you're going to the downtown area, there's this one business that is a tub refurbishing business.
Why not just buy a new tub?
Like bathtub refurbishing?
Yeah, bathtub refurbishing. How the fuck is that a business? Like what? Like who are your customers?
Dude, have you seen HGTV? Like,
do you have to bring them the tub?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
but
you'd be surprised, but like, really? Because like,
yeah, I mean, if you're like, I could actually see that with like antiques and rustic type stuff. Like, I mean, you could take like an old style ceramic tub that's cracked in like 4 pieces, and they could like put it back together, seal it.
Reason insert.
Yeah.
And then they just make a new tub, or
no? They just put your tub back together, and then just. It's almost like like the commercials for like Flex Seal or stuff like that, where it's like super strong, like reinforcing. They just do like that type of process, not with Flex Seal, but that idea
so
over
they
the
put,
existing
the resin over it, and then it just basically is a new tub.
Yeah, and then they'll spray paint it or put whatever color design, etc. on it, and it looks brand new. And you came into it, you brought it into the store, and it was in like 9 pieces.
Okay then.
If I ask somebody, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I run a tub refurbishing shop." I'd be like, "Do you?"
It's like,
what are you really doing? Yeah.
Tub refurbishing.
What do you really do?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I guess that's an occupation. Yeah. If I need a new tub, I go buy a new. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, why not just buy a new tub?
Yeah, like Tim fell down. Rip.
Oh.
I don't know.
He's probably he might have a dent in his head now, so it's more realistic. I mean,
is that the Tim that is or is not smarter than a 5th grader? I don't know. Is that
your tub there? They buy a new one. True. That's actually really true though. Like for anybody that knows Iowa at all, Des Moines is a cheap ass city. Like the money did not go to Des Moines. It went to all the areas around it.
Yep.
So, like,
oh yeah.
You should see some of the because there's no pro sports out here, right? So it's like high school sports literally get regularly televised out here.
Yeah, that's true. And the Iowa Cubs is the biggest thing in all of Iowa.
Yeah, which is insane too. I went to an Iowa Cubs game because my brother works for John Deere, and they have a suite at like every single they have a suite at like the Iowa Wild, like the AHL for Minnesota. They have a suite there too. So it's like we got free tickets to sit in the suite at the Iowa Cubs game. It was the same thing with the Iowa Wild. And it's like, one, it blows my mind how many people actually go to those games.
Yeah.
But two, like the stadium is like both stadiums are incredibly nice. And like people love that shit, man. Like it's insane. Like I've never seen so many people care that much about freaking AAA baseball. And it also blows my mind that you actually can't get Cubs games out here.
Yes, that's actually a thing too. Yeah,
that's insane. Like for us to get Cubs games, we pay for the like sports package, the MLB sports package. That's the only way we can get it.
But you're a White Sox fan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like
he wants to watch good baseball.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
I'm sorry, it was right there. I had to.
Here's the thing. Okay, like. Here's the thing. I've always loved like my dad was a Cubs fan. Well, is a Cubs fan. My brother's a Cubs fan. I've always loved the Cubs. Like I'm a Sox fan, but there's very, very few things I'd rather do on a Sunday afternoon than go to Wrigley. Wrigley is probably the best baseball stadium in the country by far. I still like the Cubs. So you chose the White Sox. Why? Okay.
Yeah, because this would be like me saying that I'm a Michigan fan, but I love Ohio State. Like I can't believe I just said that, but
you probably understand. Okay, so my mom's side of the family are White Sox fans. Okay, So when I was younger, right? Like, so I was born in 2001, right? Okay, so I'm
Jesus.
19, right? So let's think about this for a moment. 2001. That was like, a bit ago, and the White Sox were actually good, right? They won the World Series in 2005, right? So here's the
Yeah.
thing. So when me and my brother would play sports games at that time, right? Like on the N64, okay? So he would choose the Cubs because he was a Cubs fan, right? So then like I'd be sitting there like, well, fuck, would I play? And then my mom would be like, hey, just be the White Sox. And I was just like, okay. And then I'd hit like 4 dingers with Frank Thomas. And I was like, wait, this team's like the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
sitting there like crushing the ball with
know?
Pierzynski and Frank Thomas and Paul Konerko and
they were awesome. Like, I mean, literally, you just would bombs with Frank Thomas every single time he'd go to the bat. And I was like, wow, this team is the greatest thing ever. And then now they suck.
yeah, and then you realize Frank Thomas had to hit home runs because it took him like 2 minutes to run around the bases. Like Frank Thomas's home run trot was Frank at full speed. If you didn't know, just
hey, don't diss my man Frank. I'm like one of my prized possessions, which is upstairs in my bedroom, is a Hall of Fame tour picture signed by Frank Thomas. Okay.
Hey, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
Don't diss my man Frank.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
My grandma's my dad raised me to like them. See, like, how could you like Detroit, man? Like, how can you grow up in Detroit and be like, I'm a Detroit sports fan? Like,
I mean, my dad was a Tigers fan. My dad's side of the family were all Michigan Wolverines fans, and I was like 7. Like the year that Michigan shared the national championship in '97, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the Ohio State Michigan game this year, and whoever wins that game is who I'm going to root for forever. And Michigan happened to win that game, and I'm pretty sure it's the last time they beat Ohio State in the last 25 years. But so that's how I became a Michigan fan. My dad was a Pistons fan from like before the Bad Boys and everything like that. So became a Pistons fan. I've always loved baseball. I played for 12 years, so I was a Tigers fan. And probably my favorite moment as a baseball fan is when in 2006, when Maglio Ordonez hit that walk-off home run to send us to the World Series. Like it was like 11 o'clock at night when he hit that ball, and I screamed and I woke everybody in the neighborhood up. Like I ran outside, like I ran the bases faster than he did. Like I was ecstatic.
Probably like favorite baseball moment.
As like a 17-year-old kid, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Because I mean, that's one of those like you want the definition of a no doubter. Like as soon as the ball left the bat, there was like, that's it, it's gone. Like before every Major League Baseball season, like the Detroit Tigers Facebook page will post that video on opening day, and I'm like, I love it. Like I could listen to that call like 300 times over and over again and just watch like Polanco like skipping around the bases and
the final out call for the World Series in 2016.
100%. And actually, so there's a story behind that. I'm one of those crazy. So I played sports basically my whole entire life. And so being a sports person, I'm sure like anybody can agree that you get your crazy rituals. You get your routines that you do. So being a sports fan, I carried that over into when I watch games. And it was for every single Cubs playoff game, I have to drink Old Style. I have to, because that's the beer of the Cubs. I don't care if it's Budweiser now. It used to be Old Style, and it's forever going to be Old Style. And I drink 6 beers throughout the whole entire game. I sit in the same spot. I wear hat, like do different things, all sorts
so
of
that
stuff.
World Series run was expensive for you.
It was. Actually, no, Old Style's kind of cheap, so it worked out kind of in my favor.
As fuck, yeah.
Yeah, I think like I was getting like 24 packs for like $10, so I was like, sweet, I'll take it.
Yeah, so Mike's sitting there, gained 20 pounds. It's all beer gut after the World Series, drinking a 6-pack every other day.
Yeah. So it was a lot, but so it was the end of the 9th inning. So, and it was about to go into the 10th. This was before they said that there was going to be the rain delay. I go into the fridge, I open it up, all the Old Style is gone, and I am freaking the hell out. And I was like, okay, this is great. My mom hadn't had anything to drink. It was there was like a Jewel Osco 5 minutes from my house. We drove over to the Jewel Osco. I ran into the store to the very back where they kept the beer, grabbed it, came back, ran out. They almost didn't let me get it because the liquor was supposed to be closed. but they left the gate open, so I was able to get in there, grab it, come out. They actually let me check out. We got back in time in order for the first pitch. So just like that whole situation, then they took the lead, final out. It was like me, my whole family. We were all watching and crying, and yeah,
I agree with Phip. Even like again, even though I'm a Sox fan, by far like the best World Series of of all time practically is 2016, and it's like probably so far my favorite baseball moment is the Cubs winning the World Series, mainly because like I do not see my dad cry like
yeah.
ever, and he cried. He bawled his eyes out when the Cubs won the World
Oh
Series.
yeah, it was all like my dad. So my dad's he says he's a Sox fan. He has more Cubs clothes than Sox clothes. He always goes to Cubs games. He never like says let's go to a Sox game. So it's kind of like, okay, well, so what are you exactly? I'm not sure. But like even he was crying, and it's like, okay, yeah, it was like all of us. It was just nuts. Yeah.
And we went to the parade. Did you go to the parade?
No, so I hate parades and giant crowds like that. I can't stand it. Yeah,
Understandable.
yeah.
And I that was probably like one of my dad's favorite. He did tell me, he's like, this is what do you, I think he called it like the fifth best day of his life, or no, sixth because he couldn't say that it was above his wedding and
the kids being born.
were born. Yeah,
Yeah.
the fifth best day of my life going to that parade. And like even like my dad is like he's handicapped and he has a cane, and like obviously you could imagine how tough that day was, like walking around.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen him happier in like in my entire life than that
Yeah.
day. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it was that parade was nuts. I loved you a hockey guy.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the 2015 Hawks parade, the one that was at I was lucky enough to get tickets to go inside.
Was that Millennium Park or was that at
Soldier Field?
Yeah, that one is at Soldier. Yeah. Okay.
They had the regular parade, and then they had like the private thing in Soldier Field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is really freaking cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely one of the scariest moments though was watching that Game 7. When Rajai Davis hit the tying home run.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad literally got up out of his chair. He walked to the bathroom, slammed the door, and he did not come out for about 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
And I was legit scared.
Oh yeah. Like it was my it was like my brother, I think he was just like screaming. He was like, fuck, and just like started like throwing stuff. I was like, yo, it's fine. It's like it's just a tie game. Like
it was like
we got this. It's fine.
It was one of those moments that like when he hit that homer, I was just like sitting there in disbelief, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I was just like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
there's just no way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely my like best, I would say best or favorite sports moment. 100% be just like the 2016 season. The whole season was insane.
Oh yeah.
And so that was like, I mean, you know, watching it on TV, I'm trying to think. So this was 2003. I went to game 2 of the NLCS when it was the Cubs versus the Marlins.
Yep. Really? You went to game 2?
Yep. And we were sitting in the bleachers. Like we got them online, like when they had those crazy, like trying to get any sort of like playoff ticket is insane. But like, so we somehow got them and we went, and it was like, so what, I was 12 years old at the time. We were sitting in the bleachers, my first bleacher experience. I was 12 years old. My whole family walked out of there smelling and just reeking of beer because the Cubs won 13-2 that game. And there was like home runs. One of the pitchers I remember on the Marlins literally threw it into his own dugout. Like in the windup, he somehow threw it into his own dugout. But it was the best. That's probably my favorite one that I've been to and that I've experienced, because it was just a great game. But
we went to game 4 of the NLCS in 2017. The one game that the Cubs won in that series.
Yeah.
Even like that night too. Like, you know, they're down 3-0 in the series and everything, and it's like we were sitting bleachers center field,
Yeah.
And like, I tell you what, the energy in that park, even being down 3-0, winning
Yeah.
that, like, it was just something different, man. It was something
Yeah.
different. Like, because I remember Wade Davis literally, I think he threw like two and a third innings or something like that to close that game. Like, he literally carried the shit out of the Cubs that series to even get somewhat close. And like, still blows my mind that they didn't re-sign him. But anyway, like that. It's just like I said, there's not much better than Wrigley, man. And even I'm a
Oh,
Sox,
yeah.
like,
Yeah. And
I-
like I think like any sport, like any playoff sports environment. So like I went to the one in 2003. In 2015, I went to game 4 of the NLCS. Like that was the game that the Mets swept the Cubs. I was at that game.
wow,
And like one during the whole entire game, even up until the very last out, it was crazy. Like you couldn't hear yourself think. Like the whole time it was just loud.
Yeah.
And then like after it was done, then it was, everyone was sad. But then the Cubs came out afterwards and did a curtain call for like all the
Oh, that's
fans that were
cool.
still there. That was awesome. That was really, really cool.
I think trying to think playoff hockey.
That's something else.
There's nothing better than playoff hockey. It's like for me, it's like hockey and then baseball and then like football would be third, I think. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
playoff, even like
I have not gone to a playoff Hawks game yet. However,
I can't afford one.
Yeah, well, yeah. Dude, even when the Hawks are bad, I mean, they sell out every single game.
Standing room only is still $100.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I went to a, it was 20, I think it was 20, it was 2015. Yeah, it was the year they won the third cup. We went to a Hawks Capitals game, and we sat like literally right behind the Capitals bench,
Mhm.
and they like the Hawks tied it up to go into OT within, I think, like 8 seconds to go in the third period, and then they won it in overtime. And like the energy in that stadium, dude, and it was a game in November.
Yeah.
It felt like a playoff game, dude. Like
Yeah.
it is like I need to go to a Hawks playoff game. Well, they need to be good again, but like,
Yeah.
well, that helps,
Yeah, they need to be good again. And hopefully they won't charge as much, but yeah, they will. So yeah.
I desperately need to go to a Bears game. It's kind of disgraceful that I have not been to a Bears game yet, but again,
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
You're
Let
not
me
missing much.
let me remind you that Mitch Trubisky is your starting quarterback.
It's Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, maybe if he went to Mitch, he'd win like 2 more games.
People give Mitch Trubisky way too much shit. Okay, way too much shit. All right.
I mean, the only
Blame Mitch Trubisky for the only issue on the Bears. All right, it's just don't even get me started.
That's true. Just give me back Jay Cutler. That's all I want.
I loved Jay Cutler.
Yes, thank you.
People gave Jay Cutler so much shit, and they hated him so much. I'm like, he's literally the best quarterback we've ever had. Like, shut the hell up. Like, if we had Jay Cutler right now, we won the Super Bowl last year.
Oh yeah, give me Jay Cutler. Like I want him back.
Hang on.
Christian Cavallari just broke his heart. Just give him back to football.
Hang on.
That's what I want.
You think the Chicago Bears were going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs last year?
With Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
Are you are you drunk?
At least 1 year before.
Like when
Maybe
they made
not,
the
maybe not
NFC
last year.
Championship game, maybe yes.
Maybe not last year, but the year before, 100%. If they had Jay Cutler in the playoffs, no doubt. Yeah. Even with Parkey, yeah, because with Jay Cutler, we wouldn't have been in position to even have a field goal even matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you're acting like Jay Cutler's like a 45 touchdown MVP candidate every year.
He doesn't, but that's the point, though. Like,
I just loved him for his attitude.
For the Bears, he didn't need to be. Like, for what the Bears needed 2 years ago, like, Jay Cutler would have been more than enough.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, the only person that like throws more interceptions than Jay Cutler is Jameis Winston, and that's only because he had to have like laser eye surgery to see his own teammates.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I think it's like within the last 2 years, including this past season, like when the Bears have the average QBR, when their quarterback meets the average QBR in a game for the league, they're undefeated. Literally, all they have to have is average quarterback play. Now, you could be like, "Wow, then Mitch sucks then," but it's like he's not the reason why they don't have average quarterback play. Like, just like I could go on. Like maybe not many people care about football, but it's like I don't know, man.
Yeah, I would prefer a different quarterback other than Mitchell
I mean,
Trubisky. That's just myself.
I mean, Dak Prescott's getting ready to run himself out of Dallas because he wants $200 million a year. So,
like Nick Foles, I mean, I'm fine with Foles. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Do I think it's kind of shady? Yeah, I like
100%.
I mean, I don't, I think Mitch deserves better.
I mean, would you take Cam Newton right now?
No,
I wouldn't. I feel like there's too much along with him as a player.
Well, dude, I might like
that might hurt the just the office and the team overall. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. Even though I think Cam would be, loved in Chicago though.
I agree.
But like it's not even against him as a player. He's had way too many concussions, dude.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, like the year of 2015, like his running gun play style, him being basically a running back and using that, ability to his game is great, obviously, and it gave him a lot of success in 2015. But like he took so many hits, dude, so many, and it shows too.
Yeah,
past years of play.
That's true. And for everyone who's talking about the tight end situation in Chicago, I don't want to hear it because how many are they up to now? Like 30? They have 30 tight ends on the roster or something.
Look, it's going to be the whole offensive line. Okay, they're just going to.
Why did they not like decide, or I don't know, like they didn't consider Greg Olsen? I don't know why.
Because Greg Olsen's like 40.
Greg Olsen back.
He's well, so I would love to have Greg back, but he's old. He's had so many injuries, but like I feel like if you brought him back, that's just asking for him to die on the field. And personally, I don't want to see that.
It's true.
Look, do you remember the scene in Remember the Titans when Sunshine grabs like Big Larry and he's like, let him through, and Larry's like, what did you say? He's like, trust me, let him through. That's their plan. They're just gonna put like 8 tight ends up front, and Mitch is gonna stand in the huddle and be like, look, just look at everybody, like let him through. And the running back's gonna be confused because he's like, dude, I'm behind you, and he's like, let him through. And they're just gonna like block, and then there's gonna be like 9 people to throw the ball to. It'd be great.
Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing about Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. Like, the Bears, which is why they need to extend Allen Robinson right now, but, like, they seriously underappreciate how, like, good, when they get good receivers, they underappreciate them so badly, it hurts my soul. And it's like, it shows when you have years like last year when we practically lead the league in drops. It shows. Like the year that Allen Robinson had last year with Mitch as his quarterback and like 0 depth behind him where every team was like double teaming him on every play is freaking insane. That shows how good he is.
I mean, Calvin Johnson's like still only 32. I mean, you can call him.
Yeah. Well,
and isn't Des Bryant a free agent?
That contract, good luck.
Des Bryant.
Isn't Des Bryant a free agent? I know he got. I know he like broke his leg in New Orleans or something, but I don't know if they re-signed him.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yep, I remember that.
So you signed. So it'd be perfect. Here's what the Bears. You just call Calvin Johnson out of retirement. Boom. Sign Des Bryant for the minimum. Be like, look, this is a 1-year prove it deal because you broke your leg and we don't know what we're getting. So you put Megatron on one side of the field. You put Des on the other side of the field. You keep
Allen Robinson.
Keep Robinson and Jeffrey in the middle.
15 of the tight ends.
Yeah, 15 tight ends. And there's no possible way Mitch Trubisky can go like 8-8. I mean, it's a foolproof plan.
The other problem, which like I feel like as much as I like David Montgomery, like I don't know why we got rid of Jordan Howard so easily. Like why he was given up without like it seemed like a fight was just. I mean, we
and
gave
then
him
you're
up for, like, a 6th-round pick, which is like how
and then you're
like a league leading rusher for a 6. Like
They had a new shiny toy in Cohen, and they were like, "All right,
Yeah.
we'll just go with him."
And then
they decided to get Montgomery, who was the power back that they lost with, it's like
my confusion last year was that like when they would give the ball to Cohen, they like the plays that they would call for Tree Cohen were literally up the gut runs, and I'm like, are you dumb? Like, are you dumb or stupid? Which one? Like, which is it? Like, you have David Montgomery, which you talk in the media a shit ton about how great he is, yet you give Tree Cohen that's like literally my height up the gut. Like, and if you don't believe he's my height, I have a picture because I met him like 3 years ago, and I have proof. So, just saying,
man.
But, like, obviously he has like 100 pounds on me, but like that's beside the point. But like, still, you have a power running back, and you give the guy that's supposed to be the agile, like speed guy. Tree Cohen's like one of the most freakish athletes I've ever seen. Like his speed is incredible.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just run up the gut. Like what?
This is when you do you do a toss play and have them, go off to the side. Maybe, hopefully.
Like maybe I freaking should be. Like Jesus Christ, I'm not that numb.
Like,
yeah. Okay. Like good lord.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's the Bears, so you got to expect something to happen, right?
Bears football. Oh, the double doink. Like, come on, that's Bears football.
Oh yeah. Oh, I knew it was going to happen too. I was sitting there watching the game, and I was like, he's going to miss.
I'm gonna be honest though. Like when he went up to kick that field goal, I really did think he was gonna make it. I really did. I really believed.
I did not. I even said, I said out loud, I was like, he's gonna miss, and then that happened, and I was like, yep, okay.
Here is the problem. Like, I really had faith in him making it, and then they called the timeout, and he kicked the practice kick, and he made the practice one, and I'm like, fuck.
Like that's it.
Of course.
I literally just said when he made the practice one before that, and he just kicked it after the timeout was called. I was just like, fuck, he used all his juice. Like that's it. That's the Cody Parkey. Like usually, like you're maybe given like one good kick from Cody Parkey a game, and he used it there. And I was like,
a season. But let's be honest.
Yeah,
a game might be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Or a season might. Yeah, a game. Yeah, season. That makes more sense.
We shouldn't have been in that position in the first place.
100%.
But still, it was a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, but you all had the greatest field goal kicking competition ever, and nobody could make the kick.
That's because it was snowing outside, and they held the competition on a street.
Hey, I didn't organize the competition. I just watched it. Okay.
I did too. It was hilarious.
Look, just go get Carli Lloyd from the U.S. women's national soccer team. She can make like 55-yarders in her sleep.
True.
Like, drill them, and everybody's like, "Oh, she needs to be wearing equipment to make it." Like, do you understand? Like, her thighs in her dominant kicking leg are probably bigger than like 90% of the players in the NFL. Like, I'm pretty sure if she can kick a soccer ball like 90 yards without equipment, she could kick, because that ball that video that went viral where she kicked like that 54-yarder at Eagles training camp was good from like 70.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, make her put pads and a helmet on." Are you okay? So what? It's good from 68? Like, shut up.
Just like, yeah, that'll make a difference. All right.
Like, she could literally hit a crossbar from like the other goal, and you want her to put pads on and think she's gonna miss?
She'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You could back her up an extra 5 yards, and she's gonna be. If you're worried about her getting hit, just have her kick the ball from midfield, and she's gonna make it.
Like most soccer players, like. I mean, I don't know. It was that way in my high school. Like, a lot of time, if you played soccer, they had like a special rule because obviously like soccer and football like play at the same time, but soccer didn't have games on Friday nights. But like you could play soccer, but also kick for the football team.
Oh,
that was because like kicking field goals is like it's the same form as kicking a soccer ball. That's why soccer players are good at it. So it's like, give me Carli Lloyd, please do.
Yeah.
Call Messi. I'm sure he'd be good.
Oh yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Good lord. Maybe that's what the Bears should do. They should, but they won't ever. Are you kidding me? The McCaskies won't do that. They'll
no, because Messi makes like $200 million a year playing soccer in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean,
he makes more than the Bears' payroll.
Probably true.
A season. So
yeah. I don't think people understand like how much like Cristiano Ronaldo makes.
Oh,
Like,
it's over there, it's like religion. It's crazy.
That guy is like a different kind of royalty when
Yeah.
it comes to professional athletes. Like,
Oh yeah.
you think like LeBron or Michael Jordan's big? Like,
Yeah, you go over there and I was actually in Madrid. So another story. This was, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Was over in Madrid. Went to a Real Madrid Barcelona game, and
that's on my bucket list. You into that?
so it was the best. So this was better than playoff baseball, playoff hockey.
Really?
That is the number one. Like it is so cool because the whole entire time you have one team's fans doing one chant and the other one, like, they take turns.
It's so
Like
fun.
it's not before, like, they don't say, all right, well, since we're this team, we're gonna go first, or like flip a coin to see who goes first. One team does one, then the other side does another, and they just go back and forth the whole entire time. It was so cool, so cool.
That going to El Clasico is like is 100% on my bucket list.
Yeah. It wasn't that. It was so it wasn't Real Madrid, but Atletico Madrid was them against Barcelona, and that was just it's something else. And I was like, I wish they had that here.
Clasico, like, yeah, I can't. I haven't tried. I haven't looked at those tickets because I just, that'd be insane. But like, I know the demand on those. Like, I think there's like a waiting list to even get one.
Yeah, probably.
Like years into the future.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they're like parents putting their unborn children's names on the list.
Just like, hopefully we have a kid by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like, that is 100% on my bucket list. So I really would love to go because I feel that they have like over 100,000 people in a stadium, right? Don't they?
I think depending on which one, yeah, their stadiums are huge.
Yeah, I mean that's like, you think the Super Bowl's big?